Right, here we are, the 37 350 Sports New Imperial. You remember we started it restoration after it was donated by the late Peter Turner probably 5 months ago, 6 months ago. You will recall the state it was in whenever we received it, but at least it was all there, which is very important. If you get a bike that's complete, it doesn't matter how bad it is, as long as you've got patterns and the original equipment. So we had a big job on the tank. Remember, the tank was badly damaged, so we managed to get that beat out and chromed, repainted. JBS Dave did the tank, superb job, new knee grips, and of course the very special cantilever back end, which is good. We had new exhaust pipes made, new silencers, speedo rebuilt. I like doing speedos. Funny enough, for speedometers, they don't really get a lot of wear. They're more or less like watches. There's no load on it, if you know what I mean, so none of the gears wear out. So new face, re-chromed rim, all up to speed. The levers are all nice original levers, which are the old type. No ball ends in those days. Pressure, oil pressure gauge, we'll see that in a moment when we fire it up. And another thing we like is the number plates, where they're handwritten. Miller used to do it when he was a kid. Not stickers, but handwritten, painted on proper. So unit construction, engine runs backwards, which we have discussed before, and very, very special bike. And unfortunately, 1939 BSAs bought them out, and then they made a lot of stuff for the war campaign, New Imperial factory, actually in Hall Green in Birmingham. And when Miller worked at Aerials, he was in Digston Hall Green, so it was Spring Lane, but I can't remember where that was actually at Hall Green. But anybody who's in Hall Green, look Spring Lane up, and the New Imperial factory was there. Which and then after the war, BSAs didn't make any motorcycles in the factory. I think the factory went over to making other products rather than motorcycles. BSAs probably didn't even want the competition because it was such a good bike, probably better than the BSAs, so they didn't want to make better bikes than what they were making. So that's really a quick story on the New Imperial. So we're ready for a startup, and I'm sure you'll be impressed with the engine, how it runs and so forth. So we'll just get Jim on the case, fuel on, pick her up a little bit. First kick, you think? You think first kick? Go on in. First kick. First kick. First kick.
Fingers crossed.
Right, there you go. We would like to bring in Cherryl. Come in, say hello. Come in too. Right, this is Dad's bike restored. He's looking down on us, so
he is
he's looking down, and I think he'd be a happy chappy.
I think he'd be more than happy, Sammy.
And
more than happy.
So it's in the museum. Put a nice header card with us. And mentioning that he donated the bike to a museum. So it'll join the other new Imperials which we have, but I think this is very spectacular. When I see it in your shed, it looked a bit sad.
Very sad.
But luckily it wasn't getting rained on anyway. But so we managed to salvage it. How long did your father have it for?
I think possibly 50 years.
50 years.
And it was in lockups. And then when he moved to Basingstoke, he had it under tarpaulin,
Yes.
actually in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came and rescued it.
Well, and it was nice that he, when he was not well in hospital, he could visit the Facebook and see
Yes.
the engine and bits and Miller in the middle of the engine. So, so it's turned out well. We're well pleased with it. And as you see, first kick. What more do you want?
He'd be in heaven.
Yes.
Well, he is in heaven, but literally.
So, you want to sit on it?
Yeah. As long as you don't ask me to ride.
Okay. Hey, have you? I give you a leg over, girl. How about that then? There you go.
Oh, wonderful.
Give it a bit of throttle then. Come on. So, but it's all nice condition, you see. It's all the steering damper and the valance guards are good, you know. So.
Well, I don't recognise it.
Don't you?
No.
Well, you should do.
I don't recognise it. It's the same bike you took out.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, anyway, the 150 will be ready, you know, for a fire up too, but this is the important one. That was his pride and joy.
Yeah, magnificent beast it is.
Yeah, and that rear suspension is very, very rare.
Is it?
They call it the Draper rear suspension, and very advanced for its time. It's more or less equivalent to what they use today. So, wonderful. And the brakes work well, the gearbox works well, the engine's very quiet, runs a treat, so well pleased. Another job done.
Fantastic job. Fantastic job.
Great job.
Just got to get off now.
You want to lift off, girl? You better give her a lift off.